Hello everybody. I'm making a new video today, just kind of bringing you up to speed on a lot of the things that I'm working on. I'm finishing some of the edits and just some of the fine touches and tuning up on my father's autobiography that he wrote back in 2015 is when he finished it. And it's kind of been, is a passion piece that he wrote about his life, obviously, and we'll be publishing it this year. And some of the things that I'm going to talk about in this video are just based upon the journeys of a native-born black man, Hoosier, proud Hoosier, native-born proud black Hoosier. He'd be the first to tell you, but his journeys, from 1937 to today, in our country, in our state, growing up in Indianapolis, his perspective and his viewpoints and his life exemplify a lot of aspects that can't be disputed. When we talk about systemic racism, just the journey of, growing up in and around, poverty and having a burden and a heart and a sincere drive through all the pitfalls as a black man and never giving up, never making excuses, and never stopping to press forward, and I get a lot of strength from that. And the realities are the realities, though, and that's what I really want to focus on as far as, really starting to introduce everyone to this book that we'll be publishing this year, because I want to really get a lot of awareness, generated around my father, Frank Robert Montgomery, and the importance that his life represents to all of us, to all of us black men, to all of us in the black community, to all of us as Americans. This is very important, for all of us as Americans to understand, the parts of our history that are not taught. They're not discussed, they're not, and they're not shared. And it's important, for me and my family, that we start to share and that we start to learn more about our own journeys and our own histories. He's very adamant about, if you don't know your history, you can't grow forward. If you do not know where you've been, if you do not know who came before you, you cannot proceed forward. Very important, very important. So as I'm gonna create more and more videos built around his autobiography, as we put the finishing touches on it and everything, and prepare for a release and publish it and make it available to you all. And I'm gonna make it available through Food by the Word, through the conduit of Food by the Word, so that way it's available to everybody in the world. When we publish this book, it's important for me that everyone has access to it immediately. And by the grace of God and through the technology that we have at our hands, we'll be able to make that happen. So I'm excited about that. But more impactfully, it's really a burden that we get the message and the conversation out here that, as being, being black in America, has a real, genuine set of circumstances that are not shared by every other race in America or every other, ethnicity in the United States of America. Even those that are new to America and those that have been here for, some generations. Our experience is singularly, and special. It is special. It's not shared with anyone else in the whole country, and we can't keep treating it like it is. And it's not just simple. We can't just do better and get better. We have to we have to understand our history. So as we grow forward, and I prepare, his book for release this year, I really want to build a lot of, interest around the fact of what God is doing and what He's done, and what the new environment of this new, shaping of our global culture is looking like for our children and grandchildren, and the sharing of information and so forth. But we have to raise awareness and have to stay fervently aware of the impacts of systemic racism, and we can no longer shy away from what it is, what it's done, and what it continues to do to this day. There are systems in place that are being dismantled and have to be dismantled just in order for us to break loose. There are literal, intentional systems in place that keep us from even gaining entry, access to capital, just different things. We talk about, we hear about financial literacy. Financial literacy, on the face of it, sounds fundamentally, easy to understand and access and to learn and to grow yourself in. But here's the reality. There are systems in place that preclude, there's no amount of financial literacy you can even attain to break through these systems, because as they're constructed, because they're instructed intentionally, very deliberately, over years and years and years and generations, very deliberately, constructed in certain ways that you will not traverse, and no amount of literacy, financial literacy, is going to change that. Changing that changes that. So I'll talk to you later. Be looking out for it. God bless you.